Hello and welcome back to another episode of Handyman Repairs. Today we are looking at an Xbox Series X. Already been opened, you can tell by the warranty sticker. Not sure what they've done. It's supposedly a no power, so we'll confirm that and go from there. I heard a crackle, that's a good sign. And absolutely nothing at all. Okay, so it is no power. I did hear a crackle though, so I'm pretty confident that it's not the power supply, but we'll find out. Let's get her apart and go from there. And the Nexus connector is stuffed. Maybe that's why it doesn't power on. I never understand why people don't just watch a video on how to pull things apart if they're going to attempt it, so that they don't break things when they're doing so. Should be right to come out. That's interesting. I don't know if you can see that, but some solder wick down in there. That can't be good. So at a very minimum, we need to replace the Nexus connector. So let's get down to it. Mind you, I will just point out that the listing for this stated no power, pulled it apart to check and clean, and found nothing obvious. So if it was broken before they pulled it apart, they just made it worse. Or they pulled it apart to clean it, broke that, gave up. It didn't go any further. Who knows? Either way, doesn't seem like a very honest description. The clamp is on the wrong way. That's not good. So they have obviously gone down further. HDMI port looks a bit crooked. Might as well keep going. Let's see if we see anything else. Thermal paste is a little bit dry. HDMI port has definitely been changed. I'll have a closer look at that under the scope in a second. So you can see here, it's clearly not quite aligned, not straight. I wonder if there's things bridging and shorting out there. Can't quite tell just looking at it, but it's very, very plausible. I've got another pair here. Have a look at this. Not attached, 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 not attached. That one is, but is possibly bridging. That's not attached. That's not attached. That's not attached. Not attached. Not attached. Not attached. Wow, that's a good start. And then if we look at the back of the board here, back of the HDMI, hopefully that chip's okay. That is our ESD booster. We do not want to have to replace that because that's quite an expensive fix. It's just some flux by the look of it. And we can see that some solder wick there. So it looks like it's been sold as a no power because they pulled it apart to replace HDMI, failed in doing so, and broke the clasp on the Nexus connector. Post-production Dave here, just in the middle of editing this video, and thought I'd give you a quick rundown of what I mean by when I say that they didn't take it off correctly. So this here in this Nexus connector, so the way to remove it is actually to press down on it. A lot of people think, like this one next to it, it lifts up like so. This one pops up like that. A lot of people think this one has the same thing, and they pry up on it, and that's how they break it. You actually just have to press down very gently, but that's how you do it. So if I plug this cable in here, just for demonstrative purposes, you'll see that it locks in like so, and it locks in fairly tightly. All we have to do is just gently press down and it'll pull out. It grabs on these tabs here. So again, if you press it in, if you don't press down on that and you pull, you're going to rip the ribbon cable, or damage the ribbon cable, which is exactly what they have done on this console. Or if you pry up on it here, you're going to rip that out and that clasp isn't going to hold either, which is possibly also what they had done. So gently press down and it pops out. Ignore this old damaged cable that I'm using. But you get the point. Now, back to the video. So hopefully this is just a new port, new Nexus connector, and we're good to go. If all goes to plan, this could be an easy fix. They've melted that connector a bit. They've obviously tried heating from the top. Hopefully our retimer chip's okay. Alright, so let's go under the scope here. We might as well start with the HDMI port. Just going to put some flux down here, just a tiny little bit. Don't really need any on the pins because they're not attached anyway. And we're just going to heat from underneath. Alright, so first things first, we're going to get this glue off. Okay, that's flat enough that it shouldn't affect us. Then we'll come in and tin everything, including these ones at the front here. We'll add a little bit to our ground holes. Might just rotate the board a little, make my life a bit easier. These tinned up nicely. Some nice fresh leaded solder. Add some to the ground hole. Okay. And we'll give this a bit of a tidy up. Just so we can use some fresh flux when it comes time to put it back on. Have a look at the back of the board, make sure we haven't knocked anything. Everything looks okay there. We've got some solder coming through the holes, which is good. Just give this a clean up. And give it a proper clean up when we're done. Make sure these holes are cleared, and they are good. Okay, now we should be able to drop a new port on. The port that came off it honestly isn't too bad. I think it just wasn't attached properly. It looks clean inside it. Don't think there's any particular reason why we couldn't just reuse this one, to be honest. But I think that's what we'll do. We'll just straighten up some of these pins. Maybe just this one here. And this one here. That all looks good. They're all sitting at a reasonably level height. We'll just quickly tin them. A bit of flux. And iron again. Give our iron a bit of a clean. Add some fresh solder. And just one sweep should do it. Should be good to go. I don't know, it just doesn't look like it tinned. Either that or it already was tinned. Just come in with a bit more solder this time. Just try that one more time just in case. Okay, I'm confident in that. So we come back over here. And we're going to heat them underneath. And so we'll go under the scope on this side. Change our angle a little bit. Just get a bit closer, better look. Give it a bit of a clean up. Okay, we're just going to check our pins now. Which are all good. We'll look at the back of the board. It looks like it's flown okay. Not too happy with it. So I might just quickly touch that up. Okay, that looks good. Have a look inside the port. A little bit fluxy, but looks okay. Nothing a little brush and a nice purple won't fix. Try a little bit of compressed air. Okay, and we should be nice and secure. Which we are. Wonderful. So that's that fixed. Again, hopefully this chip's okay. Hopefully this chip's okay. And hopefully everything else is okay. Okay, so that's that board sorted. So now we'll come over to this board and have a look at this Nexus connector here. As we can see, it is broken. Severely broken. So As usual, we're just going to heat from underneath the board to remove it. Add a drop of flux here. Some of these are already ready to come off. It's fine. We'll add a nozzle to our hot air so we can direct the heat a bit better. And we'll come in and heat from underneath the board. Get ourselves a more comfortable position to work. First thing I want to do is just tin everything else. Okay. How are we going to repair this? Do we go with a pad or a wire? Okay, I managed to find these, so I think one of these should do the trick. I'll just peel that off there. Yeah. Stuck to my tweezers. Bit of a big pad, but that's alright. Probably a good thing, if anything. So, I'm going to put a drop of flux right here. Hopefully hold this in place. For anyone wondering, you do not need the steadiest of hands to do this. Clearly mine are not all that steady. Come in with a small iron. Just attach that there and quickly tin it. Obviously that's bridging and stuff, so we'll add some more flux so we can do it properly. Oh, where's this go? There we go. Tin that the whole way across. Just break off this excess. We'll give this a real good clean up. That way we can add some solder mask. Didn't mean to catch on that. There we go, still okay. Just going to rotate a little bit just to make my life a little bit easier. Okay. Going to add a touch of UV mask. Look some underneath. Check a little bit over the wire here. Looks like it's a bit dry out, to be honest. I might have to just squeeze a bit more through. Yeah, we'll cure that with our UV light. Just going to hold this down nice and flat as we cure it. Should only take a few seconds to cure. Get those hairs and stuff out of there. And give it a few more seconds to cure. And this should all be solid. It is. That's all solid in place. Not moving. Can't feel any razors. So that should work nicely. So again, just going to hang it off the edge of the bench. And come in with a little tiny little bit of flux. And grab a new connector. There it is. And get that into position. Something close like so. And again, we'll heat from underneath. And we'll inspect that. Sitting nice and flat. It all looks good in there. Let's just flip this around and we'll check the pins. Beautiful. I'm very happy with that. So now we can reassemble. Okay, we're mostly back together. Got a few more screws to put in, but we're going to give it a test now. So plug that in, and might as well plug the disk drive in too. Just to make sure it's all out in place. All right. Well, we've got power now. And it's instantly turning back off again. Not even spinning the fan or anything. Let me just try another one just in case. Same thing. Okay. We do have a fault somewhere. I guess we're going to pull it apart again. Okay. Before I go any further, I just want to separate the boards. So unplug. Oh, I don't think I plugged that back in. I think I may have found the issue. So I'll plug that back in. Now that's in. I also didn't put the other Wi-Fi board back on. But I wasn't finished pulling it together. Just wanted to test it. But I think that was our issue. We didn't have that plugged in. So let's try this again, shall we? Nothing else needs to go back on for now, so we'll give it a quick test now. Oh, hang on. Plug a power board in. Don't I feel like an idiot? Certainly do, but you know, mistakes happen. There we go. Wonder if we get a display. Honestly, I'm not sure about the display, given that we had to replace the HDMI port. There was a bit of damage around that area. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It works. Oh, gotta love it. So it really was just a HDMI port and a broken Nexus connector. I really don't understand why people lie to me. Like, you know, the funny thing is, I'm just gonna. So I'm gonna put this back together off camera. I think I'm even gonna call the video there. It's fixed. It's working. It's funny. I paid 150 for this one, and it was listed months ago for 150, and I offered him 150, and I said I'd buy it, no problem. And then he had a lot of interest, so he took the listing. He upped the price. He put it up to I think 250, and I said I'd come up to 200. I didn't want to pay any more than that, and that was the end of it a few months ago. And then I got a notification the other day that it was still available, and then you dropped the price back to 200. And I sent him a message. I was like, hey, I realized you still haven't sold it. I'm still willing to pay the 150 you originally asked for, and I bought it. It was listed as a no power. It said it had been opened to inspect and cleaned and whatnot, and there was nothing obvious. Now, if he had been honest with me and just told me that it's been open to try and replace an HDMI port, and in the process the Nexus connector's been broken, I would have paid the $250 because I would still clear a profit on that on a nice easy fix. But given that it was unknown and it could have been absolutely anything, maybe even a faulty power supply, which are not cheap, I didn't want to pay that much. So by lying, he's lost himself money. But yeah, anyway, win for us. I should be able to clear some profit on this one. So yeah, great win. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification so you get notified of any future videos. If you have any questions or you have anything you want me to fix for you or send to me or sell to me, whatever, just hit the description. There's an email address and stuff in there. You can get in contact with me. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one.